we went on vacation. And I went to what's called a book town, which is a town that has a lot of bookstores. I went around to bookstores, and everyone started telling me, yeah, I don't take people unless they are on, this particular company, unless they're listed.
Probably Ingram Spark.
Yes, Ingram. Yes, exactly, Ingram.
Or Baker and Taylor. A lot will do Baker and Taylor. And I know you're published through Vervante. Do they have you distributed to Baker and Taylor?
I don't believe so.
See, this is the one problem that we run into. Like, they do a great job with putting the books together and printing and things, but the distribution side of the house is really not done well for authors. Do you know if your book has an ISBN?
Oh, yeah, I bought one.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so it should be no problem for them to add it to Baker and Taylor, so that you are in. Baker and Taylor is a distributor, a wholesale distributor. So most bookstores that say they will buy from Ingram Spark will also purchase from Baker and Taylor. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I was waiting over on GoToMeeting.
Oh, no.
I know. I was too at first, and then I just sent that to you.
Okay. I'm glad I went back and checked my email.
Did I send a link to GoTo?
No, I sent it.
Oh, I missed that entirely.
I sent it to everybody, and then,
I missed that entirely. I'm so sorry. So
Alexa, your face doesn't move. It's amazing.
I have worked on that so hard. Hold on. I'll say hi to you in real person. I was just telling Kathleen that my house is a mess because we just moved, and my Wi-Fi is really slow. The video slows it down. So all those reasons, I am just and is it Therese or Teresa, like Teresa, or I've never.
Therese like Denise.
Therese like Denise. I love that. Okay, so we were just talking about your ability to get into bookstores, and it will have to be distributed to a wholesale distributor. There are some local bookstores that will allow you to walk in and do your book on consignment, but most of them prefer to order. So there's two ways that you can do that, being with Vervante. You can either have them, if you go onto your website and into your account, hold on, let me pull it up because I was just looking at this the other day. You can actually... They charge a $50 fee, which I'm not going to get into that, but
it is what it is. With some stuff, it is what it is.
It is what it is. So when you go into your author dashboard, you can scroll down to retail distribution, list physical product for retail distribution, and you click on that. She's got Vervante Bookstore, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Baker and Taylor, Amazon Kindle. So you can go through and you can choose as many places as you want. Now, your other option, if you have already formatted files, and I believe that the format that they use is very close to the Ingram Spark cover. If not, I have a recommendation of a cover designer who can take your cover and put it into the Ingram Spark template in about 30 minutes or less. You can choose to set up your own Ingram Spark account, and you can publish it there. What I will say, yours is a very heavily image thing, right? Ingram Spark does not do a great job with color printing of high quality images. So the biggest advantage of having Vervante distribute through Baker and Taylor is that you know that that's the book the stores are getting. So I would say for now, unless you run into severe issues or you have bookstores that say we will only order from Ingram Spark, I would ask them to just put it in Baker and Taylor, then revisit some of these bookstores and say it's now available for wholesale distribution in Baker and Taylor, and go from there. Can you remind me again of the title of the book? Because I want to pull it up on Amazon. I forgot to do that before we got started.
It's Messages from God.
That's right.
And it needs to be, this is why we went with Vervante. It needs,
because it's a beautiful, beautiful book.
Yes, it needs to be just right.
Right, I agree. And I'm working on a children's book that's the same way. She's like, I just can't accept quality of any other printer because she saw the one by Vervante and it's so beautifully done and nothing else even compares. So we've been having to go around some interesting roadblocks there too, but it's worth it because once you've seen a really well done cover. Okay, so they have it out for you on there. Okay. So your question in the sign up form was how do you get it distributed to different places. There are numerous organizations you can join for indie authors, or even websites and things like that. I know yours is a Christian devotional, so I would have to do research on places that are uniquely Christian. But you gave me the name of one of them, so I can look up in there and see if that's one that you have to get through an organization. Some of them require organization membership before you can submit your books to them, but there are other places that don't, like SIBA is the Southern Institute. Oh, I can't remember. Hold on, let me look it up. SIBA is Southern Independent Book Sellers Alliance. That's what it is. And that's at www.sibaweb.com. And I'll send you these links as well. So you, if you, well, I can put it in the chat right now. Different places like this that will allow you to either join or list your book or things like that. So there's another one, and I cannot recall the name off the top of my head, but when I send you the recording to this call, I'll send you a list of places that we have reached out to and organizations that you can go to, like Forward Reviews and different places like that. Have you checked into any of these review sites like NetGalley, Indie?
I looked at one, and I'm forgetting the name of it now, and I got pricing from them. I mean, are any of these places you pay for this, right?
Unfortunately, that's the nature of the game, is that you pay for starred reviews, you pay for placement, but what it does for you is bless you, it puts you in front of, when you get these starred reviews, it gets it out in front of a whole bunch of bookstores and libraries and things like that. Now, the other thing I have, when I was at Digital Book World a couple weeks ago, I connected with a woman who runs a company called New Shelves, and they have just started doing a library book blast. She has, like, I don't know if I would assume you want to get into libraries as well.
Yeah.
They send a list to
I'm just going to go grab a cough drop. I'll be right back.
Sure. You'll get the recording, so you won't miss anything. They send a list to libraries, and they'll look at your book. They'll make sure that it's a good fit, and then send it out to a list of 12,000 to 15,000 librarians. So those are always good as well. But they do, I mean, you do have to pay for these lists in most circumstances. But what I find is that if you can get a couple of starred reviews, if you can get your book reviewed and out there in front of places that will distribute it to books. You sound just terrible, Kathleen.
I'm sorry.
You poor thing.
I'm sorry. It started when I got home. I'm going to go get some water.
Okay.
So I had a question before we, as far as like paying for starred reviews, I mean, I thought that we weren't really supposed to pay for reviews.
No, that's absolutely incorrect. Yeah. Most places like Kirkus, NetGalley, any of the major review, even the New York Times list, not the New York Times, even those places, like, you pay to get your book in front of them. You pay for the time, you pay for them to find somebody to read your book, to review it. So you're not paying for a 5-star review.
Got it. I was thinking Amazon reviews.
No, Amazon reviews you definitely don't want to pay for. No, we're talking about like major reviews that will get you. Now, there are some free review sites, but usually it takes months and months and months to get a review. They may or may not ever find someone to pick up. And with your style of book, like, it may be difficult to find reviewers at the free level on review sites. But what I would really suggest is reaching out to Christian book bloggers and send them a free PDF of the book and ask them to review it on your site and link to it on their website. I don't know if you've done any of that before, but we've had big success working with bloggers. Sometimes if they're big time bloggers, they will ask for, like, because to them it's a job they're going through and they're taking their time to write up a thing. So they will ask for $50 to $100.
Yeah.
And Instagram is super hot, especially for a book like this one where you've got these beautiful images.
So just to say, I have reached out to many bloggers.
Okay, good. And what's the response?
There's been no yeah, I would love to, doesn't fit my thing. Or the other one is I have someone who for over a year has said, yes, we would absolutely like to do it. They're a big site, but they rely on volunteers, and the volunteers choose which books they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
They've just said, yeah, it'll be up when we get a volunteer who chooses to do this.
Okay. I have a blogger friend named NJ. She runs a podcast called Working Christian Moms. This would be your perfect audience in front of you. And I'm going to send her a message. She was doing a call out for sponsors for her gift guide. So basically, I think it's like a $75 fee or something like that to have your product sponsored in her gift guide. And she talks about it, and we'll feature it on her podcast, etc. I'm going to send her a note real quick and see if she's still accepting gift guide sponsors, because if so, this might be the perfect place for you to get out. And if not, she might be willing to get a PDF and do just a review on her podcast.
That would be awesome.
Or even have you as a guest on her podcast. Speaking of which, podcasts are a phenomenal way to go out and talk about. So tell me a little bit about your book, what inspired it, and who is your ideal target audience for it?
So my book, our book, it is, the text is excerpts from my prayer journals. It's written in the voice of Jesus, and the excerpts themselves were written over 5 to 10 years. And I would read them occasionally in, meetings at church, and people loved them. And I got the idea kind of very suddenly, and just said, this should be a book, and it really needs visuals.
Mm-hmm.
It came, I hadn't been thinking about it. It actually came out of my mouth before I even processed it. And then I went, yeah, it'll be just like a medieval illuminated manuscript.
Right.
So little stuff. And so I started connecting with artists. I started taking art lessons, thinking that, I would train myself to be an artist. And then I was looking, at Therese's photography website, and I realized we were friends from college a few years ago. And I realized she had the exact tone of my writing. And I kind of went, you know what? This could be illuminated manuscript, but modern. We're going to do it modern. And I didn't even realize then that she did the mandalas, which have ended up being perfect. I mean, those are the borders and the large caps and so forth. And so it has ended up being exactly what I initially just kind of said. It's a modern illuminated manuscript, and the visuals and the text are meant to interact.
Okay.
And for this to be a fusion. I feel it's more than an illustrated.
Yeah, I'm looking through it on Amazon, on the site, on the pieces that are showing, and I can see that it's really, really pretty. So with the new year coming about, and that's one thing I was looking for to see, is it it's a devotional? Does it start on a particular day?
It's a 5-week devotional.
Okay.
So you can choose any 5 days that you like. 5 weeks. So
have you how much of a margin do you have with Vervante in terms of what print costs is versus what you make per book?
We're charging $29.99, and when I sell it, I say $32 for tax. It costs us $14.71 per copy.
Okay, so $14.71.29. So you're roughly, it's already basically.
Actually, it's $15.46 per copy
that you make. So you do have a little bit of margin without going negative if you were to do a Black Friday special.
How do you do that on Amazon though?
Okay, so since you're distributed through Vervante into Marketplace, right, or into through their marketplace, so what you would need to do is connect with Cindy and say we want to do a Black Friday special, and you just have them reduce the price on Black Friday. It's not going to necessarily show up in Black Friday specials like the ones that Amazon is showing, but you guys can promote it to your communities, your email list, friends, any of these bloggers connected. Hopefully you've been saving an email list as you've been reaching out and contacting all these people. So anybody that you have ever approached about the book in any sense, I would send them a message and say, guess what? Black Friday, we're running a super duper special, and we're, I don't know, mark it down $5 or something, or however, wherever you feel comfortable. At this point, ladies, what I would say, more than making a profit from the book, your goal should be to get books in people's hands, because the more that you can sell through Amazon, the more that reviews that you can get, you will bump up in the category and you will get more organic traffic. And that's where you'll actually make some more money. I'm looking at categories here. Do you know what they have in terms of this is interesting. It doesn't.
I don't remember.
Ooh, I would have to look up what the categories are.
We did some, didn't we? I mean, we did.
Yeah, we did. I know one was like along the devotional type line.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was more on like a self-help type line, I think, just to try and diversify. I think that's what we chose, but I don't remember. I'm looking through my very scattered notebook here and trying to find it, but I'm not seeing. Oh, wait a minute.
So it's
Christian devotional, spirituality, religion.
It's really interesting because your book isn't showing up with any categories at all, which even
Really?
and I don't know. I would ask you to ask Vervante if they have actually submitted categories for this.
So they need to do that. We can't do it. Is that correct?
Now, okay, so here's a question for you. You've set up your Amazon author accounts, right? So, because I see your names are in there. So if you want to work with me here, roll on over to Amazon Author Central and let's look.
So I have both books on mine. Kathleen, I don't know if you have your the perma, or what we wanted to be the perma-free.
I didn't even think of doing, I didn't even think of doing that.
So when you go to your books and when you click on your book in your book list, I'm going to just click on one of my books just to see so I'm going in with on the book details tab. Nope, not there. So what you can do, okay, can one of you actually share your screen with me so I can see what yours looks like since you're distributed differently?
Yeah, how do you
click on the Zoom window and or if you hover on the Zoom window on the bottom, you should see share, a share folder.
Oh, yeah.
Click on that and share your screen, and that way I can see if there's any difference in the way your account looks than mine, since mine are all distributed through different.
Are you able to see this? Because it's on a second monitor that's kind of not calibrated very well.
Okay, so this is not where I want you to be. I want you to be in Amazon Author Central.
Okay.
Let's see what the website is. It's authorcentral.amazon.com. Okay. Click on books.
Books,
up at the top next to your
yep. Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Okay, now click on your book. Okay, so in here, all right, okay, so it looks like they have, all right, go back to the editorial reviews. Very interesting. So we're sorry, but Author Central services such as updating editorial reviews and book description are not supported for this book.
Oh, okay.
It didn't used to say that. That's a change.
So this is right here, the biggest downside of being distributed through Vervante the way you are distributed, because it looks like now, I think what Vervante ought to be able to do is to set up a publisher account and claim the books that they're the publisher for and add these kinds of things here. But this is really a huge disservice to you guys that you are not showing up in any kind of categories. So now what you might be able to do, this is what I would suggest before we get upset and, you know, nuts on it, is that we go over to the help button over here and send, it's at the very top next to your name, Therese. So over on the contact us, you can have Amazon call you and let's see, select an issue, my books, go on my books.
Oh.
Select, make a selection is going to be update information about a book. Next one, please make a selection again. Browse categories. Now before you actually, and then I want to update my books browse categories. Okay, before you actually have them call you, what you need to do is you need to, well, you have your categories already written down. So I would have them do it via phone. So once you select, okay, so there it's going to ask you phone. You put in your phone number, request a call back. They'll call you back immediately, and then you can have the conversation with them and just kind of explain to them that you're distributed through a third-party seller, but you're trying to make sure that your book has categories, and see what they tell you. Take copious notes and go back to Vervante and tell Vervante what it is that they have told you in terms of categories and all of those things. Now, I will say that I think before you came on the phone, we were talking about having Vervante, and you guys are going to get a copy of this recording, so it'll have all of this stuff in here too. So when you contact Vervante about distributing you through Baker and Taylor, your book becomes wholesale distributor, which means Vervante will no longer be the only seller of your book on Amazon. However, it should still be the Vervante book, because you're not, I don't know how that part works actually, because I've never tried to distribute a book through Vervante, through Baker and Taylor. So again, a conversation you should have with Cindy. But once that part comes up, then you should have the ability to, I would think, once it's in a wholesale distribution, you should have the ability to do those types of things. But I mean, this is a pretty significant issue in terms of being able to grow organic sales on Amazon, because right now you're not showing up in any category. So if somebody, let me do a little, I'm going to go into an incognito screen here so that it's not already influenced by my previous search results. And I'm going to go in here and see if I look for, what would be the best keyword you guys think if someone's looking for your book?
I would think devotional.
Okay.
Or Jesus or Christian.
Okay.
Well, that might be really broad.
Okay.
All of those are going to be really broad.
So if somebody wanted to find it, I would say illuminated devotional.
You know what? I'm going to do something else. Okay, I'll look for illuminated devotional, but I'm also going to go into books. I'm going to do it the old school way. I'm just going to go into books, and then I'm going to do devotional. Devotional for women. Okay. So like you can, I'm scrolling through. All right, so it's not showing up there. So I'm going to go into the category. I'm going to go specifically into Christian devotionals. And Jesus, beautiful things, God hears us. Like it's just, I mean, it's not showing up anywhere. Now, if I know the name, but this is also, so I should say before you get too upset about that, that's also very typical for a book that has not had a lot of sales or had, it doesn't mean that it's not in the search results someplace. It's just like way.
Oh yeah, I think if I looked at our hang on, our sales rank is 2,870,818.
Wow.
But ideally, we'd like to have you showing up when somebody clicks on this. There's a category in Amazon. It's under books, religion, and spirituality. I'm gonna, I'll take a screenshot of this for you guys. Books, religion, and spirituality, worship and devotion, inspirational. There's a category, and it's got things like Jesus Calling, Brene Brown, Tuesdays with Maury, these types of things, the book
Yes.
of Awakening. Like this is where you guys should be.
Yeah.
So, but you're not, if somebody's just searching categories, just looking for a good devotional, yours isn't gonna necessarily show up there because it's not in a category, which is, maybe I'm just, let me go back. I'm gonna search it one more time.
Like we did this whole, yeah, okay. So we already said we did do categories.
You have categories, but it's not showing up under a
Yes.
category.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna search. Well, okay, it doesn't matter. We could spend all day trying to find your book out there if it's not even because, sorry, I can't talk. And religion and spirituality, devotionals, worship and devotion. Okay. So anyway, I would have a conversation with Cindy and find out how it is that you can either add information to the book or have them add information to the book or find other things so that, and ask her how they get books to show up in categories, because it's really, at some point right now, it's not quite as important because your book has low sales and low reviews. So it probably wouldn't be on the first 24 pages anyway, but eventually it's going to be a PR buying. But okay,
Matters.
it does, absolutely. So and I'd be curious to find out what her answer is on that. But I would say really what you're going to do in terms of and then you guys said that you tried to run AMS ads, but you can't do that either because it's not distributed through.
Yes, exactly. Amazon would not even let me in, and I spoke to half a dozen Amazon representatives who couldn't figure out why I couldn't get it to work until I finally found someone who said, yeah, it's because you're with Bravante.
Interesting. Now, can Bravante run an ad for you?
Oh, that's a good question. But that's part of the reason why we did the, well, it was supposed to be a perma-free, but they're not doing a price match, so it's at 99 cents. But that it's an ebook and we put it directly through Amazon so that hopefully we could run ads on that. And that's supposed to, it's almost like a sampler with very simplified art. So it could be Kindle.
Okay.
And so we were trying to do that as a way to point to the book and maybe run the ads on the perma-free. People spend 99 cents and they're like, wow, this is so cool. This is awesome. We want to buy this book.
Okay.
That's the idea.
That was our vision.
And I'm not finding it on Kindle. So Messages from God. And
No. We called it A Healing Journey.
It's hard to find. When I try to find it, I have a really hard time finding it.
I found if you put in A Healing Journey :14, it comes up.
Okay.
I see it. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's see. No, and this one, you guys are, only one of you has claimed it. Now here's where you could, you should be able to go back into your Amazon Author Central and add some other information based on this ebook. You can also add like into your description, you could add, do you have it in here? You could add your into your description, get the print book, so-and-so, or even like add a, let's see what you have inside your healing journey here. Do you have any notice of your actual print book?
Inside, yes, we inside.
Well, not in the description, no.
Oh, not in the description. Oh.
No, in the actual ebook.
Okay. All right. So this is my to-do list for you guys then, for you ladies, is to contact Vervante and find out how you get your book to show up in categories and how you get to the point where you can, back up one step, call, have a contact call with the help desk through Amazon Author Central and see if they can give you any guidance on what you need to do. You can stop sharing your screen now if you want to. Oh, my computer just froze up.
I thought I did.
Maybe you did. Maybe I just haven't gone back to the Zoom window yet. Oh, we're back. Okay. Okay. So you call them, have a conversation with them, find out what needs to be done for you guys to add categories and make sure that it's showing up in search results, and then go back to Cindy and tell them what information they need. Okay. So then the second thing is to have a conversation with Cindy on getting your book widely distributed so that you can have bookstores order it and so that you can show up and do all of those things. Then the third to do is to find out with Cindy what a good price margin is so that you don't go negative. So they're going to still charge shipping, which is what usually causes the issue. But come up with your plan for what you want to reduce the price to, and then build a marketing strategy around a Black Friday sale and email and publicize the heck out of that with your entire community. And then I would do that again for the new year, like early January, a New Year sale on the devotional, because everybody starts the new year with wanting new spiritual, new devotional, all that kind of stuff. So don't miss those two opportunities. I will send you a list of places that we use for promos and things of that nature. There are a couple of the ones that I have used in the past don't necessarily do, I'm sure Free Booksy or the Fussy Librarian must do the Christian side, but you can sign up. So with your ebook, and the whole point here is to get a whole bunch of people downloading your ebook. And then if you're both under there as followed authors, then they see your other book as well. You can run a campaign, a paid promo campaign. Free Booksy charges like $25 or something like that, or not Free Booksy, the Fussy Librarian, but there's a list of places. What I like to do is to go out, see what dates are available, make sure that multiple paid promo campaigns have the same date open, and then I do a big push by using like 3 or 4 different paid promo lists. So the paid promo list, you go to their site, you say, I want to submit my book to your list as a featured promo at 99 cents. And you do it to like 3 different places, but you have to make sure that they all have that date available. So you'll check their window, make sure they have a slot for you, make sure they do Christian books, all that kind of stuff. You submit your book to these different places, and then they, on that day, say you pick November 24th as your day. On that day, all of those promo places will include your book in their email list, in their social media, in whatever it is that they do. So you can potentially have thousands of people coming to download your book. If you can make it a free download, you get even more, because I don't know if you guys know this, but you still make money through Kindle even on free downloads, because you get paid for pages read. So if you have 5,000 people come download your book for free, even if they don't read it until a year from now, you'll get paid for those pages read a year from now. So,
we would like it to be free. We can't get Amazon to do that.
How do you have it set up in KDP?
I'm not sure.
If you put it on, if you go into KDP Select, is this the only place that you're selling this book?
No.
Okay, that's the problem. If you're
Because
willing,
what the strategy that we were told was to have it through either Smashwords or Draft to Digital, and have it free on Kobo and Barnes and Nobles and a few other sites. It didn't qualify for Smashwords, so we had it formatted. And then to request a price match from Amazon. And so that was the strategy that we used.
but Amazon's not price matching.
Right. And I don't know if it's because I'm the only one who has requested it and Kathleen's the only one who's requested a price match. I don't know if we have to get like a bunch of people to request the price match. I don't really know.
It should just be the authors. This is the that strategy does work very well for authors who have a platform, who have book selling, who are out there, who people are finding your book. But if nobody's finding your book on any of those places or even looking for it, basically all you're doing is just having a book out there for free that nobody's downloading or reading, right? So
Right.
My suggestion would be, until you start seeing, so KDP Select is a 90-day window. You have to first remove it from those other places from sale, because when you go on KDP Select, you are only allowed to be on KDP Select. For some people, this doesn't work if they have lots of books and that they're seeing sales on other sites. But for newer authors and for a book that's not selling, I can guarantee this works because I've done it with numerous authors, is that I will open up a 90-day window where we remove it from anywhere else. We pick a date. We pick 3 to 4 promo lists that we can get it added on. We make it free for during that window. And what I do is, like, say I pick the date of November 2nd is going to be our free date. I have 3 to 4 promo lists mail out on November 2nd. They send all kinds of people over on November 2nd, and people download all the free books. It pops up in the categories that there's a lot of activity. So other people just on Amazon see the book, they click on it, they may download it for free. You may not see any page views for a little while, but eventually somebody's like, I'm bored, what should I read? Oh, I downloaded this book, let me see it. And then, you'll get those page reads and you'll get paid for that later on down the road. But what I do then is that you normally have it set. I would set your book at like normal price. When you send it into these promo sites, I would tell them that your normal price is $2.99. It's going to be on sale for $0 for 1 day. You send out the list. Not everybody opens the email on day 1. So say they come on day 2, you've set the price for 99 cents for day 2, right? So then all these people come and they're like, oh, I'd really like to have this book. I'm willing to pay 99 cents for it. Click download, and you get a bunch of sales from that. And then if you want to test it and see what could happen, if you go into day 3, you put it at $1.99 and see what happens, because there may still be a whole bunch of people coming over. And they might look at it and say, that looks really beautiful, I want to download that book, and they'll buy $1.99. Or you can just leave it at 99 cents and get your 33 cents to split between the two of you. So, but
Yeah,
the bigger point of this is that by using promo lists that are appropriate to you, and by doing a bit of a marketing campaign around it, you get a bunch of eyes on your book. And if people are interested in, like me, if I'm interested in a type of book, I see it, I go to it, and I'm like, okay, this is a book I'd really like to know more about. And I click on the author's name. So I'm going to click on Kathleen here, and I go over to her page, and I see that Kathleen doesn't even have the other book added. So sale lost there.
Yeah, I just added it. Added it.
But if I had,
you know what? I just didn't even think about it.
Most people don't. Okay, so then I click on Therese and I see, oh, what is this? Messages from God. Oh, and I'm going to click follow on her because I want to make sure that if she puts out a new book, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. I want to make sure I get information. So maybe I just downloaded your book for free, but then I see messages from God and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. My mother would love this. Add to cart. So, you have to think big view on why the free downloads are so important to you. But okay, so those are the things that I would do. Like I said, I will send you a list of free promo sites. You can look into them and see. I've never tried to promo a Christian book on through them, so I don't know who does what, but I would take a look at them, get an idea of what's doing well for them, look at their websites, see what kind of books they are promoting. If it doesn't look like your book would do well there, then avoid it, because some of them are romance sites. So, put together that strategy, put together the discount for Black Friday, and see if you can generate some interest in that. But you're gonna have to do a lot of talking about it. And this is the part that authors often they get scared of, because they don't want to push people the wrong way. The other question I have for you is, have you guys had are you in the same location?
No.
We're across the country.
But have you had, even not together, have you had live like author signing events or anything? No. I would plan one, especially around the holidays. I mean, who cares when you publish the book? You have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful product. And this is the type of book that when people see it, they want to buy it. And my authors have been smashing it in live events lately. We had a book published last week, and she sold over 100 copies of her book at an event she set up at a local bookstore. And her book is $15.99. So, I mean, it's a little less expensive, but, people expect to pay. This is the type of book people expect to pay more money for. So they will. But I would really encourage you, especially, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can contact your library and ask them to help you co-host an event. They will market it for you. You can contact local bookstores. Again, you have to get it with the local bookstores. Either see if they'll allow you to do it on consignment, or get Cindy on distributing it through Baker and Taylor. But a live event, I think, some cookies and wine, or no wine if you don't like wine, or wine is always good because people buy more. Before the holidays, so that people are thinking this would be a fabulous gift to give my mother-in-law, or, that type of thing. But I will say, there's a lot of things that you can do, and all of them, done. I like to run these free promos like once a quarter, or the reduced price. If you don't want to go on KDP Select, you can always do it at 99 cents. But I tell you, you get thousands more downloads when you go through these promo sites if they are free than you do if they are not.
Is it easy? I mean, now that we have the book up
Mm-hmm.
and it's not KDP, if I took it down off of every place else, how easy is it to take this book and make it KDP Select instead of what it is right now?
You've published it through KDP, right?
I'm not sure.
I would say if it's on Kindle, you have to have.
Okay.
Unless it's that's not exactly true. I'm sorry. Let me backstep, because if you've published it through Kobo and chosen, or through any of those other places and asked for them to distribute to Amazon.
No. I did put it on Amazon first.
Okay. So that's your kdp.amazon.com login. And all you have to do is go into that, and it will, on the side of your book, it has the little 3 dots that ask you what you want to do. And one of the questions is enroll in KDP Select. I will tell you, it will continue to auto enroll until you tell it not to. So if you only want to do it for one 90-day period, make sure that you've got it unchecked to auto roll over. But KDP Select might be a really good option for you ladies until you have it more established, and until it's, selling other places. The other organization that I would encourage you to look at is Publish Drive. Once you take it off of KDP Select, once you've done a couple of promos here, and they will do an ebook conversion for you. And if you go to, hold on, let me send you the link right here. As a part of this conference that they just did recently, they're offering a free ebook conversion up to $200. It would be curious to see if they could do a solid ebook of your coffee table book and convert that for you, because they are now into China. And again, if, let's see, hold on, I can't talk and type at the same time. So, it would just be interesting for you to explore Publish Drive and see what their options are. But if I can find the sponsors thingy right here. Yes, if you go to this page, they are offering a free ebook conversion, so you can always see what they can do for you. They may be able to do your coffee table book, your full book in ebook, and if that's something you want to pursue. There's the information about their site. I don't know that it hyperlinks, but the code there, and I think it's just publishdrive.com. And there, at this link that I just sent you, it has whatchamadoodad, the code, the coupon code for the free ebook conversion. Okay, so we've gone over, but there's just so much to share with you. So I will send you this recording. I'll send you the links of the stuff that I talked about. And of course, you have your to-do list, which is to have Amazon call you, figure out how to get categories or what you need Vervante to do, have Vervante do those things and distribute to Ingram Spark. And look into the promo sites that I'm going to send you, set up a Black Friday deal for the print book, and set up a free download day and do multiple promos to that free download day simultaneously on the date of your choice. But probably, so here's the deal. You might want to do the free download promo, either set it up. You're probably going to be beyond the window of what they have available right now. So I would say after Black Friday and in like the first week of December or so, when competition is not so high for sales, because right now people are getting so many promos that yours may get overlooked. That would be my advice. Okay. Plenty of stuff to work on.
Yes.
Yes.
And, all right. Once you get, I'll have all of this information to you by within a couple of days, just as long as it takes us to gather the information that we promised you, and I'll send it your way. But okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so